Everything human needed to survive and thrive are provided by the natural world around us. Nature provides food, water, materials for shelter, and even medicine for man. So one can say that there is mutual relationship between man and nature.
Nature is a gift from God. Trees, flowers, plants, you name them, they have a way of keeping you calm. Now imagine you have a tree in your compound. You know you hear the birds chirping away, and that sound on its own is also a calming thing. Nature was put for there for humans to go into and relax and replenish whatever they've lost. But unfortunately for a lot of us in the urban area or urban areas, we hardly have access to beautiful trees, flowers and plants. But in the rural areas, we can still find people resting and nesting under trees, because while doing that, they're getting fresher air and getting some spiritual nourishment. So when last did you pay a visit to a garden? Welcome. This is our history.
Our history.
Today on the program, we'll be celebrating nature and seeing all what nature has to offer us as a people. I'm Cordelia Obe. Welcome.
Environment is fundamental requirements for the well-being, healthy and economic prosperity of mankind. Surroundings that have plants and trees tend to cool the environment and make one feel more relaxed. And this may be the reason why people in the countryside are more relaxed than people in busy cities.
In the cities now, everybody concrete, you can put concrete everywhere. You put interlocking everywhere. The soil is no more breathing.
And
The
we do
soil-
it excess in
Excess.
Nigeria.
So that is the problem we're having. That's why we're having everybody's under edge, everybody's aggressive, everybody has tension. Everybody is having one health challenge or other, like hypertension, all those kind of things, because you're under stress. But when you are in a place where you have plants, your stress level will relax. You cool down. You understand? You cool down. Like me, I don't like staying in Lagos anymore. I like staying in this forest. It's a forest, too, but I enjoy it.
According to a professor of botany, plants are the foundation of all existence of humans, animals, of society and civilization.
Plants are a major group of living organisms on Earth. The other group is the one we refer to as animals. And together they constitute the living elements on this planet.
Plants is said to be the source of man's nourishment, health and pleasures.
Yes, plants have a rich history. Little microscopic plants that resemble present-day algae originated in the sea about 1 billion years ago. Then this was followed by other group of small plants like the bryophytes, the pteridophytes, and is followed by the gymnosperms. The angiosperms are the highest group of plants. They are the most advanced and they are the most complex. And they originated on Earth about 120 million years ago, according to records. But by 80 and 90 million years from now, they have dominated the earth, and they could be found almost in all habitats. They provide the habitat for animals to live, all groups of animals. So they are so important in the ecosystem.
Our history.
Now imagine when you breathe in and the air is not clean. Somehow your system knows. Somehow it weakens your whole system. Why? It becomes like that because the air is not very pure. Plants, trees, and so on were created to help us clean the air. So maybe we should plant more of them. Talking about plants too, we know that we have medicine from plants, don't we? Yes, there are people who utilize herbs as their major source of treatment, and even the pills you take. I'm sure you know that a lot of the things used for them are derived from plants. But then, if you must use herbs, make sure you know what you're doing, make sure you speak with your doctor, and also make sure you know the right dosage, lest you cause more harm to yourself than good.
I don't even care about the download.
What?
I care about what
It's a termite mound, which is a characteristic feature of tropical regions. And this is particularly common in savanna area. This mound is built by a colony of insects that are referred to as termites. It's a social insect, and they are organized into groups. You have the queen. Inside there. The queen occupies a central region, underground, and she is well protected by the workers. And the only duty she has is to lay eggs, produce young ones. From the young ones, you will have the workers. Then there will be the termite itself, the one that flies, that we harvest for food. They produce it here, but the organization is so complex. Yes, just like human organization. Yes, there is a designated king that stays around the queen. Yes.
Demand the swelling of the feet.
Okay.
Yes, essentially. So we use it to manage the condition.
What's the name of the plant for the common man to know?
It's called shapo in the Yoruba language, but in English it's called cabbage tree.
Okay, can you show us? Oh,
that is the one there.
Okay.
You can see the leaves. These are the leaves. That's the leaf of that. They call it cabbage tree.
Okay.
And, you can see most of these leaves. They use it to wrap kola nut and some other things.
This is really very
These ones that are absorbed. And you can see other ones here. It is used against nausea and vomiting.
Okay, if somebody wants to get it, those names you might not.
No, the names are the people that sell it in the know the name,
just
local
tell them.
name. Yes, they know the local name. This is the botanical name, and this is the family name.
Okay.
Okay. And they use it for gout, worms, lungs infection, and usually they use it for boundary demarcation.
Yes, I know we have it in the east, but I don't know. Can't remember the name.
And this one is mango.
Mango is everybody knows the tree. Yes.
So, but these are the medicinal uses.
Wow, for high blood pressure.
Diabetes, insomnia, anti-malaria properties.
Like some of us that don't sleep for long.
So it depends on how they prepare it for you. So you have to, when they say plants, the roots are useful, stem and the leaves.
Okay. For that insomnia, how we want to apply it?
No, I'm not going to teach you that. You have to know that you have insomnia. So I don't want people to be using medicine that is not prescribed for them.
Okay.
So we have a lot of, and like this also, we have the intention of having people.
Caution has to be taken when using plants for medicinal purpose because some plants can also be poisonous.
In 1965, as a Form 1 student in the secondary school, I witnessed a family of 7 perish because they ate pounded yam and vegetable soup that contained poisonous mushrooms. This was in my hometown. This was a long time ago, but it is still happening even today.
There are some plants that are poisonous, but the challenge we have in this part of the world is that the moment someone mentions a plant and show people, you understand, people, you must be able to identify plants. There are plants that are similar. So if it's not your profession and you are not in line of the plants, don't go and start plucking plants. You want to cook them. I see some people going on the roadside, plucking mango leaves, plucking this thing, going to the dump site. What has happened is that you don't know, most of the dump sites, they will have poured chemicals. They will have poured a lot of waste products that are poisonous. And you should know that the plants will always uptake. Okay. They will always take water from where they are.
Like the
whether
source.
that's the source, whether it's poisonous or not. And some of them will be transmitted into the plants. And so when you are taking the plants, you are taking what? You are taking poison. Life is a food chain. Life is like a food chain. You cut a plant, a man will eat plants, he will bring a waste product, he will urinate, all these things still come. It's like a cycle. So if you go to somewhere, you start plucking plants. So that what might have happened to them. They might have just seen some of these things on the dump site or where you don't know the source of the soil. The importance of soil in the growth of plants is enormous. Okay. You understand? The plant starts from the soil. Human beings turn into soil. Abi?
Yes.
Human beings turn into the soil
decay.
when you decay.
Always go through professionals who will guide you on the usage of herbs.
Hold your breath for a while and tell me how you feel.
Okay. I felt suffocated. In my own way, I will tell you that the importance of oxygen, the air, it refreshes our brain. Because I realized that when I was holding my breath, if I do it longer, my brain will look as if I'm shutting down. It's shutting down on its own like a computer. So, but the air, and that is why you even see computers too, they also have a small fan blowing it so that it becomes fresher. So that is how our body system is. So that is the importance of the fresh air. So we really need it.
Oxygen is key to man as carbon dioxide is key to plant. But do we know the major sources of these important substances?
Plants and man, they are interrelated. The man produces carbon dioxide, plant produce oxygen. Okay. Oxygen is essential for survival. So without plants, we cannot be alive because there won't be oxygen. And if you produce much carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide can cause a lot of brain damage. All the things that are being produced are being absorbed by the plant. So there's a mutual relationship between man and plants.
The powers that plants have over the environment. Where they grow, they create their own microclimate. The temperature will be different because it is lower. Even the circulation of air within that environment will be more conducive to other living organisms because they have the ability to keep away some of the rays of the sun, and they act as shelter beds to prevent either too strong winds from disturbing the environment. So the atmosphere you have where there are trees growing will be different, and that is the impact they have on any environment. Yes.
So one can say that man and plants need each other to survive.
Our history.
Let's talk about fashion. A lot of us know adire. There is a special type of adire that can be really very expensive because the material to make it is actually plant-based. I'm talking about indigo, and it is a delight to behold the end result. Watch this.
The indigo is called the color of love, and that is why a lot of people are coming to Nigeria. That indigo, when you marry to a new wife in the northern Nigeria, they wear their turban, which has been dyed inside the indigo pot. So to show love to the new wife, all the blue will go on the face, and they are showing love to the new wife. Then the women also in the western Nigeria here, because in those days they are polygamous, and the woman want to say, I'm in love with you, my husband. So she will wear her indigo to show love to her husband. Then the husband will say, oh, Nika is in love with me today. He will sneak from the other place to come and sleep with her. So it's the color of indigo. This one is mirror, somebody like a mirror in your life. This is shekere. This one, whatever you grow is what you grow. You reap. It's a growth. That is when you move to a new house, they give you flower, plant, that this house you live in, you are going to grow long. Then this is talking drum. You will say, how does this become talking drum? You tie it in the middle here, so you can see it's looking like ganga. So sending the message through to the king. Okay. And this is the road. The road is open. The joy is accepted. So the women used this to communicate in those days, to talk to the people, to talk to the society.
Art is said to be the expression of human creative skill and imagination in visual form. This expression can be seen in one of Africans' popularly worn cloth called adire.
What we call adi, are, adire, is a natural indigo dye called elu in Yoruba.
Cotton and the chemical substance used in making adire are gotten from plants. The chemical substance is called indigo. The tradition of indigo dyeing dates back to centuries in West Africa. Adire are indigo residue dyed cotton cloths that were made by women throughout Yoruba land in southwestern Nigeria.
The adire we do, we use the raffia to tie adi. We tie it and we dye it. In the northern Nigeria, they do adire eleso. They tie it with corn and dye it in the well of indigo that has been there 400 years ago. The indigo is still there. In the eastern Nigeria, they use raffia to stitch and they dye it. And when they throw the water into the earth, you can use it as a fertilizer to grow plant.
Among Asian civilizations, India has been known to be the rich repository of medicinal plants. Recently, the World Health Organization estimated that 80% of people worldwide rely on herbal medicine for some aspect of their primary health care needs. As part of data available, over 3/4 of the world population relies mainly on plants and plant extracts for medicinal purposes.
In those days, if a woman have fibroids, they will say use indigo to mix the ekuru. Ekuru is a beans cake, which people used to eat. Up till now in Osogbo, there is ekuru alaro. So we take something from the earth and put it back into the earth without any chemical.
The herbal drugs, you know, it has come to a long way because everybody now has known the importance of herbal medicine. That is why we have NAFDAC.
Okay.
That is why we have orientation for people. And that is why we have training for practitioners. That is why we have regulatory body, because we know the importance of those things. Okay? So it's not that, as I told you, that it's not that herbal medicine is because people, the knowledge of the people about it is not wide, but people are becoming aware more about it now.
Yes.
So there's a lot of awareness. And the people in the villages, when people tell me that they don't know the dosage, a lot of people in the villages will have died. If they are not sure, they don't know the dosage. They know the dosages. What has happened now is that because the thing has been commercialized, and a lot of people, fraudsters, have come into the practice. So, and they are not giving what people really need. But the point is that the NAFDAC has come and has said these are the regulations and so on and so forth. And it's not all the products that they take to NAFDAC. Some can be given to your patient directly. And in the process, we are trying to have what we call regulatory body that regulate the practice of traditional medicine.
Trees are essential to human existence. Trees help to control storm, noise pollution, and desert encroachment. It must have been for these factors that the then governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Raji Fashola, launched a tree planting campaign in 2007. His predecessor, Governor Akinwumi Ambode, continued the good work as he directed the planting of 500,000 trees in 2017. Record has it that by 2017, 6.8 million trees had been planted since its existence of the tree planting campaign in 2007.
Find time to forget it about all. Come to a forest, come to a park. Just spend maybe 2 hours, maybe a whole day. Forget about all the things you are doing in the town. Because all the money you are chasing, if you are sick, you won't be able to spend the money. If you have stroke, you just sit down like washing like a goat like this on the bed.
And the money is
there. And the money is there. But by the time you take time off, just plan, maybe once in every month or once in every week. You got my point? You run away from it all. Just come and sit somewhere. You know, like me, I run away from it all. I sit down here, you know, I do my write-ups here, I relax myself, walk around, and people come around, walk around and do all those things. So that is what you need to do. Visit parks.
Many species of birds rely on trees and shrubs for habitat, and trees aid to cool our environment. The absence of these beautiful gifts, plants and trees in any environment cannot be overlooked, as the earth is key to survival, so also are plants and trees to man's healthy living.
Our history.
All right. It's not just only about aesthetics now. It's not just about the economic value. It's not just about the fact that it makes, okay, if I say things beautiful, that will also be aesthetics. It's also something to do about our health. When the air is cleaner, our systems will be cleaner. So we need to plant more trees. We need to plant flowers. We need to make everything look green and beautiful. It would help us as a people, that is for sure. And if you live in a place that you do not have soil that you can directly plant on, you can use pots. Why not, if not? And guess what? You could decide to plant not just flowers. You could decide to plant vegetables that you'd eat. So they're not just beautifying your environment, they're also giving you sources of vitamins and all the nutrients that come with edible plants. Thank you for watching the program Our History today. Take a look around you and see what you will find that is green and beautiful. If there is none, try put one. My name is Cordelia Ogbe. Take care. Bye-bye.